The Dangote Foundation on Thursday unveiled the largest private sector education funding in Nigeria's history, 100 billion naira annual support for tuition fees, study materials, and more, especially for young Nigerian girls. Well, in the meantime, the industrial giant also reaffirmed plans to float his mega petrol refinery on the stock market and pay dividends in US dollars to investors under the Vision 2030 program of the conglomerate. Well, let's dig for more on these heavy lifting headlines. As I bring on my guest now from our Lagos studio is Professor Ken Ife, development economist and a public policy analyst. Great to have you, of course. Thank God it's Friday. It's good to have you on the Rise Exchange.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, let's get right in. Why is this 100 billion naira annual education initiative a significant one in corporate Nigeria's history and the education sector? Because it looks like this is the first of its kind, right?
Absolutely. In fact, there are 3 earth-shattering events in quick succession. 2 of them yesterday and 1 this morning about the announcement on fuel price dropping to 699 naira. So the educational one is just second to none. What you are looking at is 1 trillion naira over the next 10 years. 100 billion naira per year for the next 10 years. And what is 1 trillion? $700 million. That is not small money, I'm telling you. And the significant thing is that every household in Nigeria is affected by the 3 things that happened. The 3 of them, just let's go through. One is that the program would train about 45,000 people, undergraduates in this first year, and in 2026. It's a 10-year program. And about 30 of them will be undergraduates in STEM education. That's another important thing. STEM education means science, technology, engineering, and maths, which means that they are consciously defining the skill agenda for our technological innovation and our industrialization. That's what it says. And then one remarkable thing is that the girls are actually taking a front seat. They're taking a front seat. First of all, apart from the 30,000 undergraduates starting this program next year, there will be another 10,000, which what do you call it? Technical education, TVET, that is technical vocational education and training. Now that is the one that is so painful because we used to do a lot of that, but now we are having to go to Togo and Lome and Benin to get our builders and painters and all the stuff. So we are back to it in a big way. But quite remarkably, 10,000 workers are going to be trained. Trainers are going to be trained. And are going to be trained in high-tech end. Because, in fact, when we were there, some school children, it was an emotive atmosphere. There were some young girls that came to demonstrate drone technology and AI. They did projects on those, and it was amazing. So what we've got is 20,000 young girls in secondary schools, SSS1, JSS1 to JSS3, SSS3, will be trained year and year, so that 20,000 will carry on to university. So that is the icing on the cake. You started all the way from JSS1. But then that number will increase gradually to 1.325 million participants over the next 10 years.
Great.
And then also there is transparency in the distribution of those, with particular attention to states that have higher out of school children. But then there is an area where they share, so it is intended to balance out. So everybody will get a good slice of that cake.
All right.
The management of it clearly thought out. Technology is driving everything.
Yes, Prof. Just let's dwell more on this funding, because although also quite remarkable is the fact that the Dangote is also planning to list on the exchange and, of course, pay dividend in US dollar. We'll come to that in a moment, but let's dwell on this in a moment as we, try to wrap up on this point rather. What level of support should the Ministry of Education avail the Dangote Foundation on this initiative? Because, like you said, this is quite
remarkable. Quite remarkable.
Yes.
I mean, I was so impressed with the Minister for Education for him to come and then actually he aligned the government policy to the Dangote's policy. He aligned the strategy to government strategy. He aligned the delivery arrangement. He actually gave marching order to all his agencies, NEL Fund, MBT, to align in terms of delivery. So he's leaving no stone unturned. And this is the type of minister we want to see, action-led, believes in it. And if we do our PPP in the way he portrayed it yesterday, this will be a different country, to be honest with you. So the government is 100% in sync. And what Dangote has done is what we should expect other private sector to do. Look at the things that government wants to do and then align your investment so that you don't give them a chance to mess about, so that failure will not be an option on the side of the federal government authorities and even the states that will key in.
Okay.
So even while we were there, the Deputy Senate President offered 50 million to support the program. Many more people are going to come because the delivery structure is impeccable. I am telling you, it is so encouraging.
Right. Like you said, many more people are going to come. But let me ask you, how much more of this type of strategic intervention do you think corporate Nigeria should deliver across other key socio-economic sectors? And talk about, many more people. How much of other companies such as Dangote that you're expecting also to take on such huge project as this?
Well, I know Bua was there, so he was already nodding. So we know that he's going to come. And then don't forget that Elmelu has done something with $100 million across Africa, but many more are going to come. But what we're going to say to them, there are also other sectors, like in agriculture, agro-processing, and then there is the bioeconomy. Then there is also infrastructure of some sort that they could also engage in. And then, of course, technology. Digital economy, because that drives, is a common denominator, that drives all other sectors of the economy. So there are many other areas that would encourage them to go, because the whole idea is to get government's attention, align with them, so that we can force government to do the things that they are pledging to do. In this education, with the quality of the minister that I saw, it's not going to fail. The education program is not going to fail, because it's get tacit alignment with the infrastructure that Dangote is putting out there. So it's a good day. It's a good day for Nigeria. Do you know, when my mom died, I didn't cry. My dad died, I didn't cry. Yesterday, I cried, but it was crying in joy, because I never thought I would see this day yesterday. And you need to look at the faces of young people all over the country, the people in the hall. It's unbelievable. It's massive. It's unbelievable.
Indeed, of course, quite commendable, we must say. But let's switch gears now and talk about, of course, also remarkable that the Dangote industry is planning for the listing of Refinery as well. How much more do we know about that and what to expect?
Quite a lot. One, his target is to grow the cash flow to $100 billion by 2030, just in the next 5 years. But also, he's going to the capital market and is expecting to a capital base. He's looking at $200 billion. So you have $100 billion as revenue, and then you have the capital as $200 billion. Now, what? It means that those group of companies will come into the list of 100 biggest companies in the world. And Dangote's rating, that is his wealth, personal wealth, is likely to go up to over 100 billion. So it's no longer going to be the 30-something or 50-something. He's going to probably hit around the first 10 richest person in the world. Take it from me, he will get there. And I know that these numbers are going to be exceeded. Now, one more thing. Certain things are very remarkable. One is going to be financed through his cash flow. because they are the 6, and then he actually said to Nigerians that are going to come for his shares, he wants every Nigerian to have a share in his company. And then even though he's offering 10% of it, which is quite substantial, but he's also saying, I can pay your dividend in dollar. You buy my share in naira, I can get your dividend in dollar. And of course, he's entitled to say that because it's an offshore company. It's a free trade zone company. So we want to hear what the regulators are going to say about that. But it's a free trade zone company, and he should be allowed to do that. Now, the other interesting thing that the confidence is that he plans to earn about $6.4 billion from polypropylene and fertilizer alone, not even to talk of jet fuel. He's furiously exporting those, so there is confidence. Not only that he will fund his project, I mean, if you look at the refinery, it could take him about $10 billion. It couldn't be that $20 billion because he's already invested in infrastructure. But the fertilizer will take another $3 billion. Then you also have his sugar and then the cement. So altogether, just look at around 18 to 20 billion more investment are coming. And they're coming from his cash flow. So this is how confident that he is that he's going to do it.
Indeed, interesting. Prof, I hear you say that, I mean, he's free to do that because, yes, of course, it's a free market and it's an offshore company. But again, the impact of that on the economy is what is yet to be discussed. But how would that impact the Nigerian capital market and essentially investors?
The fact that that company is going to the capital market will actually attract investment, foreign investment. Because all our diaspora, I'm sure they're going to be coming for the shares because they want to buy shares. Who wouldn't want to? And I can't see there's nobody who will see the dynamism of this company and his future growth prospects and Vision 2030 that will not want to put money in there. Even if they have to borrow it, they would want to invest to have a handle in this. So it's a company of the future. And I suppose we can also see the other part of this morning where he has knocked down the gantry price of fuel from 8.28 to 6.99. How can it be 129 naira taking off the price of a liter of PMS? You know, how can you describe that? It's huge. By any standard, that's over 15% drop in price. And I tell you, and then he has already assured the country that they will maintain price, and that he could drop, and he has dropped. Secondly, he has assured the country that he's doing 50 million liters a month, and that in the next, a day, and in a month's time, he could deliver 1.5 billion liters. That is 30 times 50. So the assurance is there, the capacity is there. And then he has also projected to grow to 1.4 million barrels a day refinery. And then, so what else can you say?
Right.
It is an ambition. This is where ambition and vision meet with partnership and collaboration. It's incredible. I'm really happy I'm seeing these days because this is the meaning of economic sovereignty. And an African economic sovereignty. We're talking about Nigeria, but it's a regional model for Africa, a regional model for our ECOWAS. And thank goodness, he's now accepted to be the first chairman of our ECOWAS council, business council, which is actually my work program in ECOWAS. So it's all music. Everything about Dangote in the last 2 days is music to everybody's ear. And there's nobody in this country, no family in this country that will not experience any one of these things that he has done, either from education or from buying share or from the petrol price going down. Let us hope that the fuel pump, the retailers will respond in kind by dropping their own price by at least 100 to 110 naira. So that in fact, he has handed over Christmas present to all Nigerians. That's how I would describe that.
All right, Christmas present, indeed. A public policy analyst and, of course, development economist, Professor Kenny Faye. Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate your insight as always.